Well, Fiddler on the Roof is a classic stage production, and our sponsor ASU Gammage is responsible for bringing it to the stage here in the Valley for all of us to enjoy. And I'm joined by Arizona native Julianne Katz, who plays Hodel. Dadgum in the production, and we welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Matchmaker.
Yes.
If I Was a Rich Man. Classics.
They are classics.
Absolute classics. Is that what you love about the show?
I do, and that's why our audiences love it so much, and we get such a good response from our audiences. You know, their laughter is just so audible to us during the show, and they're really responsive.
Okay, let's kind of rewind just a little bit,
Sure.
because I mentioned that you're from Arizona.
Yeah.
So where's home, and what's your story there?
Tucson. I was born and raised in Tucson, and I went to school in North Carolina. Just graduated last year from Elon University.
Okay.
And then jumped right onto
So
the
it
tour.
must be kind of cool to be able to call up your friends, your childhood friends, and say, in case you're free this week,
Yeah.
I happen to be on stage, I'm a big deal in a national tour for Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, I never really performed that much at home growing up, so it's just amazing to be able to have my family and friends come up and see me.
Yeah, there's
here.
got to be something really kind of full circle rewarding in that respect.
Yeah.
Now, as we look at the video here, it's a classic. We talked about it being a classic. So if you have perhaps seen Fiddler on the Roof before, how are we reinventing, or are we even trying to reinvent it so that people will be wowed in a different way than maybe they were the last time they saw it?
Yeah, you know, it's a show that doesn't need reinvention, really. It's so relevant to today. You know, if the show takes place in 1905, but it's about upholding tradition and accepting change, and I think that's something that we're all still experiencing.
Right.
And the chemistry between the daughters and the parents, and it's just so real to what real families experience at home. So.
Let's talk a little bit further. How
Sure.
much in depth do we get into that kind of that conflict between dad and the daughters? Because that is that's timeless right there.
It is, and it's a very emotional show. You know, the show shows the progression of the eldest to the next and the middle daughter, and just the way that the family progresses with change, and the girls each fall in love with a man who is less and less desirable to Tevye, the father. So
That's not uncommon for many fathers, I would imagine. Let's talk about just kind of the stage too. I mean, are the sets elaborate, or is it really more the players and their costumes and such that really kind of takes your breath away when you're in the audience?
Yeah, you know, we have a gorgeous set piece for our house. Obviously, Fiddler on the Roof, you need a roof.
A roof, yes.
So we have a beautiful set piece and a beautiful scrim, but it's really about the story.
Right.
And the words and the music, and that's the most important part, and the set doesn't really distract from that. So
I know it's cliche, but do you have a favorite song or a favorite part of the show?
yeah, I mean, I love doing Matchmaker with my sisters. It's always fun every night, and then my goodbye scene with Tevye is really a special moment for me.
Do you cry?
I do. I cry.
I'm sure we will too when we go take a look at it. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us a little bit about it and sharing your story. Fiddler on the Roof is playing at ASU Gammage. They opened last night and they'll play all the way through Sunday, April 3rd. Tickets range from roughly $23 to about $70. So there's something at every price point there, and you can purchase them that is, through ASUGammage.com.